What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on? Is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, friends and family? I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm not really feeling orangish today. I'm feeling more bluish. No, not blue. I like the orange. I'm feeling green. I'm feeling greenish, bluish today. Let's go with greenish to start off the show, and then we'll switch it depending on my mood. What's up, friends? I see you, chat. Chat is in the building. Room 9 is Motion Man. Motion Man is here. What up? What up to all of my friends? I see y'all in the building. What is happening? Salute to the chasers. Salute to the chaser. God is good. Jesus is king. The chasers is here. I see y'all in the building. What up? What up? What up? What's happening? What is happening? I'm vlogging today. Yeah, I'm getting back into my groove of vlogging. I had to focus all of my energy on the things that I already had in flight before I could start getting back to focusing on the vlog. So I am vlogging regularly. Some of y'all might have seen me drop the vlog on the Darth Anton channel. Um, yeah, great feedback, great feedback. Connie, what up though? What's happening? What's up to my fellow chasers? We got part 2 of the Patreon live stream of Stock Club coming up this weekend, Friday or Saturday, one of them two. So that's what's gonna be happening. AD, we need an Icewear Vezo Patreon video. Tommy G can't be the only one getting the motion. Who is Tommy G? What are you talking about? Who is Tommy G? I'm sorry. I don't know who Tommy G is. I don't know. Maybe you can fill me in, though. Maybe you can fill me in. You know what's so funny? I'm cool with Vez. I met Vez a while ago and then I ran into him at a Pistons game last year. And we was chopping it up because we was in a Comerica club. And we was like, man, we got to sit down. We got to do something, all of this other stuff. And so we kept saying that we was going to work. And we was gonna work. So maybe I will give it. I like Vez. Vez got a lot of good stuff going on. Married guy, good person. I like Icewear Vezo. That's my guy. That's my guy. I don't know who Tommy G is though. I'm sorry. I don't know who Tommy G is. You're gonna have to fill me in. You're gonna have to fill me in. J Ben. What's up, friends? After hours is tonight. Oh, in addition to the live stream this weekend, Vezo is dope. That's my guy. In addition to that, we also have Block Club, right? And so, Block Club is gonna be dope because I can give y'all some insight on what happened yesterday. Yeah. I can give y'all some insight on what happened yesterday. I spent a bag. I spent a bag last night. I made the right decisions because I was thinking to myself, remember yesterday when we was doing a live stream? What up, payroll in the building? Let me see who this Tommy G guy is real quick before we get started. So I can think about it. I don't know who Tommy G is, but I need to know. I need to know. Tommy G is a YouTuber. Y'all said Tommy G is a YouTuber. Tommy G. Oh, the white guy, Tommy G. I think I've seen this stuff before. Yeah, I think I've seen this stuff before. I don't like it though. I don't like it. I listen. I see what he putting out, but I also am going to say that I'm not a fan. I don't like it. I don't like what I'm seeing because I think that they painting an inaccurate picture of what's really happening in the streets, and I know that it gets a lot of views. I know that it gets a lot of views. There are several different channels that I won't watch simply because I know what they promoting. And I don't think that it's one thing to call out behavior. It's another thing to promote the wrong image just for views. I'm not a fan of that type of stuff. So, but yeah, man, the one who goes to the hood all the time. Yeah, they keep saying, "Oh, in the hood and this and that." That's cool. Whatever. Um. Anyways, in addition to that, I might kick it with Vez. I'm a fan of Vez. I was talking to Charleston White yesterday, and I know he flying in next week, so we supposed to be doing some stuff. So I'm gonna give y'all the exclusive interview for Charleston White. We're gonna drop that next week. That should be fun. And oh, I know what I was saying. So a series of great decisions yesterday. I was trying to figure out if I should do the Fox News thing with Lauren Ingram, and then I seen the clip of the girl that replaced me. When I decided that I didn't have the capacity to do Fox News yesterday, I made the right decision. I made the right decision. I made the right decision because I had to go to an auction yesterday. And so it was a property auction for land and property. And I was able to snag some great stuff. Some stuff I said that I didn't want because I felt like people were bidding on it for sentimental reasons. I talked to a friend of mine who was bidding on who knew somebody that was bidding on a property, and they were bidding on it because they wanted it because their grandma owned it and lost it, and they was trying to get it back, and so they was overpaying for it for sentimental reasons. I didn't do that, so I can't wait. I can't wait until you guys get to see what happened. And I could show you guys my purchases because I always show the receipts. And then I'm gonna give you the mindset of what it is that I'm planning and what my long-term goals are. And that's gonna be a Patreon exclusive for Block Club next week. All right. So if you're not a part of the Patreon, Brandon Burke says, how many did you buy? You're gonna have to join the Patreon to know that much. That's for Patreon only. Patreon only. All right. So I'm gonna go over that on Patreon. So that's gonna be awesome. But let me say this one more thing. I see we got well over 1,000 in the chat now. All right, so we good. Let me say one more thing, and then we gonna get started with the show because we got several different things that we want to cover. Um, God is the greatest. God is the greatest. And I was going through this bidding process, and I seen these other properties because I bought a lot, and I seen these other properties, and I'm like, man, I don't want to, because a lot of people know that my strategy, especially bag chasers, my strategy is to continue to stack my money with a brokerage account. So once you go into a brokerage account, you start leveraging and you buy into particular companies that we talk about in Stock Club. And I was just thinking to myself, man, I don't want to move my positions down on these, particular stock plays that I got, but I've only allocated this much cash because I got so much cash towards my monthly bills when it comes to the buildings. I mean, building the properties, residential, right? So everybody know that I do everything cash. I don't go through a bank. Maybe I should start getting the bank involved, but I do everything cash. So I have no loans, no nothing. Every property that I own is completely paid for. Every piece of land is completely paid for. I don't have no backers, no partners, no nothing. So it's just me and my family. You know what I'm saying? So we take care of everything. I write the checks. They go to see the day to day, and it's just me and family. So we all money in. We don't owe nobody nothing. But then I was thinking to myself, man, I don't want to liquidate a position that I just got into because I want to keep the other positions, but everybody know my strategy is to make sure I leverage my brokerage account as a savings account. And so if I ever need to make a huge purchase, then a lot of times I'll actually draw down on a position in a stock and then I'll move that into real estate. So money is moving around, right? And but I had only had a certain budget. It was a 6-figure budget to make these purchases. And I'm like, man, I don't want to draw down on this position. As soon as I said that, I said, you know what? I called my guy because I got tax strategists and stuff. I said, let me work these numbers out and let's make it make sense. And it was like 30 minutes before the auction was over because it was online also. And he said, man, you should just go ahead and get it. And if you need to, just go ahead and draw down on a position and then we'll make the purchase. And I said, cool. All right. It is what it is. So I make the purchases. I like practically almost doubled what I had anticipated on spending because the opportunity cost to buy these properties was just so great, right? So I go ahead and make the purchases. I wake up this morning and I got a text message. And I'm like, what is this text message? So it was from one of the institutions that I had forgot about. So long story short, I had a brokerage account with a different institution that I forgot about that I had put up some money in a long time ago because I was diversifying. And back then, I had owed some previous stuff and I didn't want any monies to get, you know what I'm saying, if they hit one bank account as far as like, garnishing an account for a decent amount, then I had some other money stacked over there. Well, also y'all know that late last year, they had garnished me from like 2008. I was still focusing on stuff, and I showed y'all that they had garnished me from like 2008, but I was still working, so I never felt that they actually just went for the job money, and so it didn't mean anything to me. And so I get a text message, and I look in the email, and it's the same email, and it reminded me of $150,000 that I had put up in a separate brokerage account. That's crazy, and I just put it up there. I didn't even like invested. I didn't put it in a position. I didn't do any. Man, I called them today. I was like, yo, because now I don't have to draw down on a position. I called them today. I said, yo, how much money do I have put in there? And it was like, like 150 something $1,000, whatever. I said, send that, send that, send that, send that money. So now I get to basically continue to keep my positions, and I'm able to just completely cash without moving any money around. I just transferred it, and then I'm gonna go to the bank today and do a wire transfer. And then we gonna talk about it on Block Club next week. So I couldn't believe it, bro. I had completely forgot about a brokerage account. Completely forgot. And let me tell you why I forgot about it, right? So here's the thing. A lot of people don't know that back in the day, we used to have E-Trade accounts. E-Trade was one of the first platforms that a lot of us first started, because like y'all was on Robinhood. You know how y'all got on Robinhood and all of that other type of stuff during the pandemic? Back in the day, we was on E-Trade, right? And so E-Trade, it actually, I think at the time it was costing us like $12 per trade. So I was getting away from it, and I was consolidating everything over into a Fidelity account. But I just left the E-Trade there because I didn't want to move the money over, and with the whole garnishment thing or whatever. And so I just left a bunch of money over in E-Trade, and I forgot about it because it got bought out and it got merged, I think, with TD Ameritrade. Yep, it got merged with TD Ameritrade. I think it's TD Ameritrade that they got merged with, or it got bought out or whatever. So yeah, I had an old E-Trade account that I had a bunch of money in, that I had a bunch of I had stacked, and I just forgot about it, and I got an email, and it was to an old email address too. Yep. It was E-Trade, and then I think it went to Scottrade, and then I think it went to TD Ameritrade or something like that. I don't know, but crazy. Crazy. So God is good. God is good all the time. Um, I wish happiness and success on you. I wish happiness and success on you. I wish happiness and success on you. Why am I saying that before we get started with the show? I'm saying that because usually in most instances where people is bothered by the fact that you're talking about your life, even though the name of the show is the Millionaire Morning Show with Anton Daniels, and you're always going to get people that are bothered by these type of conversations. They don't look at it as, oh man, that's good stuff, blessings to you or whatever. They look at it as negativity, and they say, man, why are you talking about yourself? Why are you talking about yourself? Well, the name of the show is Millionaire Morning Show with Anton Daniels, so it is me by myself talking. But in addition to that, you're going to get people that say that. Now, usually I like to entertain it because it's good punching bag material. And then I can talk about people that don't have no profile picture that's jerking off in their socks, or they put up a profile picture of something else that ain't got nothing to do with themselves or whatever, and how they subscribed in order to be able to say that. But I'm not going to do that because I'm in such a great mood because everything just works. Everything works out. Everything is great. Everything is awesome. You know, me and my daughter is going to spec out another Lamborghini today. So I'm going to be at the dealership specking out another one, put down another deposit. And so, that's blessed. And I'm going to vlog that. And so I'll release that for you guys. And so what I have to say, instead of punching on people and saying you're dusty and all of that type of stuff, I will say, listen, I pray blessings on you. I pray that at some point that you develop the character to be able to handle the success that comes along with the blessings, and then you be able to be more successful than me. Let me say that again. I want you to understand what I'm saying. I pray that you develop the character, because money doesn't make you a better person. It makes you more of what you already are. That you develop the character that allows for you to get the blessings that God has prepared for you, that he can't release for you because you got such a negative spirit and you're not prepared to be able to handle what comes along with what success looks like. And so you saying that, I want you to understand that when you get mad at other people that ain't even doing nothing to you and you're bothered by their success, that is a character flaw and it blocks your blessings. And so I pray blessings on you, even if you don't want it for yourself. I pray that God takes you through whatever he needs to take you through so that you can ultimately get to the blessings on the other side, because I don't want you to be in squalor. I don't want you to suffer. I don't want you to not meet your expectations. I don't want you to be minimized based off of how you feel in the inside, because that is a female characteristic, and I want you to be incredibly successful. For those of you that may have something negative to say, even though it doesn't hurt me, it only continuously hurts you. I pray that you come out of that dark space and that you ultimately get to the money and get to the success and get to the blessings, that as your character develop, God releases more of those blessings onto you. In Jesus' name. In Jesus' name, I pray that you get all of the blessings that this God that I serve that's so awesome has for you. Because there's no reason for you to feel that way. I don't feel no type of way when somebody else becomes successful. I'm so immersed in the blessings that I'm trying to understand what God is trying to teach me through the other person that's being blessed so that I can also be more blessed than I am right now. Even when I didn't have nothing, I felt like I was the most blessed person on earth because I knew that my future was brighter than what my circumstance was at the time. I don't even want to punch on you today because I feel bad for you. I genuinely feel bad for you. I feel bad that you don't get to experience this life of bliss and happiness. Then whoever hurts you, whatever is going on in your life, whatever you bothered by, whatever your circumstance is, whatever bill you facing, whatever person that pissed you off, that hopefully you give them you have forgiveness and you let that heartache go so that you can open up opportunities for. You can't have curses and blessings in the same space, bro. It don't exist. Light and darkness can't exist in the same space. And so you got to make room for your light by getting rid of the darkness. You can't hate your way to the top. You can't be angry your way to the top. You can't do anything with that negativity and that demon that's on your back because blessings don't come through that. I'm just telling you, bro. Even when you perceive something to be a blessing, it's a curse on the other side if it's not coming the right way. It's just the truth. You gonna get that baddie that you thought that you always wanted, and she gonna have AIDS, nigga. And you gonna be looking at her and you gonna be showing her off and you gonna be thinking that you won. But because you wasn't a person of good character, you overlooked all of the character flaws in the person that you was talking to, not even realizing that she was taking advantage of you and she gonna steal your innocence, give you a disease in return, and then be on her way. The thing that you think is the blessing is going to ruin your life because you don't have the character. You didn't develop it. You an angry, evil person. And the only thing that can come to you when you got that type of mindset is curses because you can't see the blessing that God has for you because you so busy looking at what everybody else got and criticizing them while secretly wishing that you had it. There ain't nothing that can come out of that. There's nothing good that can come out of that. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you the truth. Bro, I know you think that you know everything, but I've been here before. I've lived 3, 4 lifetimes on this earth. I understand exactly what curses look like when they really come in the form of you think it's a blessing, but it's really a curse. All that money you gonna get, let's say you don't develop the insight, understanding, wisdom, knowledge, and character that comes along with getting money. And then you get the money. Don't you know that you're going to be coked out? Don't you know that you're going to be given over into the lusts of your flesh because you don't have the character to be able to withstand? Don't you know you're not going to be able to say no to the right people because you still easily influenced and still trying to impress other people instead of living your life based off of what it is that you've been blessed with? Don't you know that you're going to miss out on so many different opportunities because you're going to be so busy chasing pussy? Don't you know that you're going to be so busy trying to be a part of the in crowd that you're only going to be able to get a small snapshot of the blessing instead of being able to have it extended for the rest of your life because you don't know how to manifest or you've never developed the skill set that allows for you to make sure that these things stay fruitful and multiply. And so you got it one time like a lottery winner and it's going to ruin everybody around you because you're not a leader in your community. You can't even lead yourself out of your lust. You jack off every day. I'm not saying this as a joke. I'm telling you the truth. You jerk off every day because you have no self-discipline. You're given over to the lust of your flesh. And then when you finally get your chick, when you finally get your wife, you're going to be overly stimulated. You can't get your dick up and you can't even do nothing with her because you've already ruined all of your fleshly ability to be able to get the real out of the person that you're supposed to be with. That's why you jerk off every day because it's a demon on your back. You don't know how to control yourself. I'm telling you see, you don't want to hear this, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. You're overly stimulated. You can't even get yourself together. You see a bad chick and you just, it don't even make no difference. Can't even get excited. All because you on the internet jerking off over some people that you ain't never seen before in your life. What kind of life to live is that? See, to me, that spells loser. To me, that's a loser. When you've given all of your life force to your computer instead of being able to do something with a person that's really in front of you, that real thing. That's why I don't participate on the internet unless I'm creating content, because I want to see you in real life. You can't even talk to me. I don't even want to text you because I want to see you tell me in my ear. Whisper it in my ear while you kissing on my neck. Because, see, you ain't never had an OG. You ain't never had a father. And so, as a result, everything you do is going to fail. Everything you do is a failure. You failed at life because you refuse to bring yourself out of that dark space. What have those demons done for you? And then you look at the whole scope of your life, your whole 25, 30, 35, 40 years. You broken, you dusty, you ain't got nothing. Nobody likes you. You've never been able to be successful, hold down a job for any longer than a year, never got promoted, not educated. Nobody looks to you for advice. You're going to be here today and gone tomorrow, and you're going to get old and die by yourself because you have no character. Everything that somebody does that's successful bothers you. Don't you know that that's what happens with demons? If everything that anybody else does that's fruitful, multiplies, successful, if that bothers you, that's a demonic spirit on you. I'm telling you the honest, it's a demonic spirit. Angels celebrate. Demons hate. Listen to what I'm saying, man. A lot of us have been so influenced by so many things around us that we don't even know what light looked like when it first shined on us. Have you ever seen somebody that's been in darkness for a long time? Have you ever heard a story of a person that's been in a hole for a long time? If they've been surrounded by darkness for the majority of their life, you know what happens when a light hit them? They do like this. Ah, it hurt. The light hurt. Ah. And so you reject it. You go back into the dark. Oh, I don't want that light. Oh, no, I can't take that. You reject it because it hurt. But if you sit there long enough, it'll start to rejuvenate you and it'll fix you. And you'll start to feel better about yourself. And your demeanor and your spirit is going to change. Your spirit and your demeanor is going to change. You're going to have a different disposition. You're going to start to speak to people. Hi, hey. And it's going to feel good because somebody else is going to speak back. Hey, what's going on? Throughout the time that I started talking about this, I got 7 dislikes. You're the demon. You're the demon. Throughout the time that I started talking positively and putting blessings on people, I got 7 dislikes. You're the demon. Congratulations. Now you know who you are. I don't need to know who you are. I know who you are. I can see it on your spirit. You're the demon. Congratulations. Throughout the time that I've been talking positively, wishing blessings on people, we had 7 demons. Hit the dislike and then leave. Because darkness can't exist in the same space as light. Think about that for a minute. For all of my bag chasers, for all my positivity people, for everybody that is striving for greatness and is looking to do something positive and is looking for a community of people that is going in the direction that you're going in, understand that what we do is we're uncompromising and we're going to reveal the demons and the people as they continue to get upset about it. Yea, as I've walked through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall feel no evil. They can't touch you unless they get God's permission. So don't worry about them. They just barking loud. They gnawing at you. They gonna try to jump at you. They can't touch you. They can't touch you. When you a saint, without God's permission, they can't touch you. Remember that. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notification. Look at it. Look, this is becoming a cult that you subscribe to. Your name is Russian Troll. If it's a cult because ain't that crazy? When you start talking positive, they call you a cult. If you start talking negative, they gonna say you a real nigga. If you start talking positive, we got 9. If you start talking positive, they call you a cult. If you start talking positive, they call you a cult. If you start talking negative, they feel you. I feel you. You a real one. Shout out to my dog, Mike, that dude. I appreciate you. Thank you, Mike, that dude. We gonna talk it no matter what, no matter how uncomfortable it make them. DJ says, what up, AD? Have you seen how Cracker Barrel CEO took the company woke and also the illegal migrant CDL driver that killed 3 Americans in Florida? Yep, I talked about it. I'm going to revisit it because I know that they released the footage and he's been charged, so we're going to talk about it. Molly in the building says, what up, though? Shout out to my Molly. That's my Molly, not yours, mine's. Stephen Butler says, topic for after hours, massive flight on Carnival cruise ship. Massive fight over Carnival cruise ship over chicken fingers. I haven't seen that. You can send that to me. Shout out to my dog, Robert Banks says, amen, AD, I just spoke that to men. Shout out to you. James, 1 and 12. KJV. Shout out to you, James. Robert Banks, shout out to you. Stephen Butler, shout out to you. My girl, Messi, in the building says, new prayer unlocked. Dear Almighty, put me in a position where I could just forget about 100. I ain't trying to forget about it. It just came at the right time. About 150K in Black Jesus with the Sideburns name. Amen. Polestar Echo says anti-inspirational worldwide. Andrew says everything works for the good that love the Lord. Molly hit me with another super sticker. Jesus, Molly. Thank you, Molly. Onaka says, celebrating my 10th year marriage to AD. Congratulations. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary, Onaka says, Anton, keep dropping gems. Congratulations. We celebrate success over here. Miss Freckles says, God is good all the time. Lean into him always. Facts. Is that Iche? Shout out to you for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Chris Cunningham says, we share her. I feel you. I feel you. I also want y'all to know as we get started with the show that everybody can't go. Everybody can't go. I need y'all to understand that there are some people that are your friends and your family, and they are not going to make it to heaven, and they are going to bust hell wide open. And the minute that you learn to accept that is the minute that you start really unlocking your potential and living your life. I know that makes you uncomfortable. I know that that's bothersome. When y'all start to realize that we are a different group of people, and there are people that are around you that you love and you hold dearly, but they're not going to change the way that they do things, and they are going to hell. I don't care if you believe it or not. There are people that you love that are around you, that was raised with you, that you love dearly, and they are going to bust hell wide open. And so y'all gonna have to start being realistic with what it is that you want in your life. Mm, mm, mm. Let's get to it. Oakland jewelry store hit by smash and grab in broad daylight. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's rock.
Night. We are starting in Alameda County, specifically in Oakland, where the city is certainly no stranger to smash and grab robberies. This video is from March when 3 separate Chevron gas stations were hit all in one night. Well, today, a smash and grab cost one Oakland business almost everything. Police say that thieves crashed a truck into a jewelry store before they rushed in and took basically whatever they could. Our Amanda Harry talked with the owner and his son about what that means for the business going forward.
Shattered glass and bent metal are all that's left behind after a smash and grab at Kim Tin Jewelry on International Boulevard in Oakland.
It's just a mess. We don't even know where to get started with fixing things.
Jason Dow says his father, who owns the business, was the only one there when it happened, around 1:45 Monday afternoon.
I was scared for his safety, right? Because usually, well, there's been a lot of stories about jewelry stores getting robbed in the Bay Area, and a lot of them ended out fatal. So I was really worried.
After getting the call, Dow rushed down to the store to see his father, grateful to find he was alive with just some cuts and bruises. His father didn't want to appear on camera, but spoke about his experience.
I'm working, I hear the very big sound, loud sound, like the bomb something. Bam!
He says he looked up and saw the white truck had backed into the building. He saw about 8 men in ski masks.
Let me tell you something. We're going to get to this Oakland conversation. A lot of y'all have a misunderstanding of how other cultures do things. It's going to tie back into what we're talking about, but give me some grace. A lot of y'all have a misunderstanding of what other cultures do and how they do it. You think that they pass on the business to their siblings. Most of the time they don't. Sometimes they do. If the sibling just so happens to be the type of sibling, or not even the sibling, their children just so happen to be the type of children that don't want to go to college, don't want to get educated, don't go into some form of higher education, don't become a doctor, so on and so forth. An accountant and a doctor and an engineer and so on and so forth, right? But in most instances, and I actually was having a conversation because people was debating me about this last week, and I was having a conversation with some of my friends with other cultures, and I was asking them what was their background, where did they come from, what was happening, and so on and so forth. And they were telling me that their parents were immigrants into the country, and these were some Asian people. And they said that their parents were immigrants into the country at an early age, and that they basically created a job for themselves. And so they opened up a restaurant that they worked every single day, and they would take about 2 weeks off in order to go and visit their mainland back in China. And I said, oh, yeah, when would they do that? They said, sometimes most of the time around Christmas time or whatever, but they would always take 2 weeks, close it, put up a sign, and then they wanted better for him. And I said, well, why didn't you take over the business? And he said, because my parents never intended for me to take over the business. They actually wanted me to get an American education and then grow up and then get a great job and then move on from that. And so the only reason that they did that was to make sure that I got a good education. And so they made the sacrifice. They were very frugal. They didn't spend a lot of money and so on and so forth. And so we would have this conversation, right? But again, we have this perception that buying or owning a business, especially in the hood, constitutes or yields success. And I want y'all to understand this. Money is money, regardless of whether it comes from a business, it comes from corporate America, it comes from an inheritance, it comes from stock, it comes from real estate. The goal is to generate as much revenue as possible so that you don't have to work as hard or your children doesn't have such a high barrier to entry. Most of these people are not trying to convince their children to take over the business like we think that they are, because we think that that is the definition of generational wealth, which in my opinion is an overused term. They want their children to be the doctors, to be the scientists, to be the surgeons, to have higher education, to live a better life, to be AI machinists and software engineers and civil engineers and architects. They want their children to do the thing that you choose not to do when you decide that you want to enroll in a college campus and you decide that you want to go into business. And they push their kids. They condition their children. They make them focus on math and sciences, and they put them on a schedule, and they make sure that they're disciplined. And so that is the key to success. I'm telling you this because as you look at this jewelry store, it's not necessarily something I believe that he probably wanted to do. They can't wait for an opportunity to retire. A lot of them, for whatever money that they make, they use it to take care of family that's back home. So imagine people, right, that own a business that they basically use to create a job for themselves. It's their only source of income. They have no other prospects at all. Because let's be clear, any crime that is committed against another human being is unwarranted, and I'm not going to ever justify that. Imagine when somebody is doing everything that they could and they put everything that they could back into their business so that they can have a respectable business. And then you are in these type of environments where people already is operating with a food desert and high crime and high unemployment and homelessness is rampant and they can't even have their own police force because they don't have any more money. And the thing that they decided to do was to destroy the rest of the businesses that's left. Crazy. Insane.
Came inside and used hammers to break open the jewelry cases. They made sure he couldn't intervene.
One guy stay back, put the gun on me. I'm scared, but I know they don't want me to die.
He says the suspects took all the jewelry and almost all of the money, then jumped into other vehicles and got away. The truck was left and later towed by police. Dow says the business was everything to his father.
My dad, he used his life savings to renovate the store, and we had only opened about 6 months ago. So, it's really hard for our family.
Dow's family already started raising money to try and rebuild. But for now, they don't have the funds to repair all the damage. So they're forced to close down.
He's a good man and he's very hardworking. So it's really sad to see something happen like this in Oakland.
As we said, Oakland has seen a lot of these smash and grabs this year. That includes at a 7-Eleven near Lake Merritt. That store was hit twice in a 24-hour period back in April. Once when thieves used a stolen car to ram into the front of the building, and again hours later when they threw a rock through the door. The cashier who had been working there told us he had enough and quit. Oakland police said earlier this month that violent crimes, including robberies, have dropped in the first 6 months of the year.
How many times y'all gonna fall for that charade? How many times are how many times y'all gonna fall for that charade? Y'all do know that there's hardly anybody else to rob. In-N-Out and closed. All of the jewelry stores is closing. The corner stores is closing. The grocery stores is closing. The only crimes that you can practically commit in a lot of these places is against the other people that's in these places that also don't even have anything. How many times are y'all going to fall for the charade or the narrative that, but no, wait a minute. In Oakland, violent crime has dropped significantly. They're going to keep on spitting in our face. You're going to keep on letting them finesse you and thinking that violent crime is down in your community. Family. My people. Are y'all going to continue to let every single Democrat run an audible on y'all? Y'all going to let them throw the audible on y'all so you telling me every city, Denver, Oakland, Chicago, Los Angeles, Memphis, Chocolate City, DC, all of the pockets in Miami, outside of Miami Beach and Brickell and the Design District, and Wynwood, because that's now gentrified. We like to say gentrified. Houston, Dallas. All of the crime is down. 30%, 40% is less than half. Stop, nigga. Stop. Stop, 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 stop. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, or shame on you. I'm doing the Bush. Fool me twice, you can't get fooled again. Fool me twice, you can't get fooled again. Crime is down. Look, everybody's standing up for a police conference. We recently had the Dream Cruise here in Michigan. And for anybody that knows the Dream Cruise, it's a time where everybody basically comes out and bring out their old schools, bring out the new schools, and all of that stuff, right? And so Woodward is locked down. I mean, it is packed with every single car manufacturer, everything. It's almost like an unofficial auto show, but it's from, almost at Pontiac all the way down to 8 Mile, and Woodward is on pack. It's on pack. And I'm looking at the different videos because I haven't been able to make a dream cruise in like 3 years, because every single time it's a dream cruise seemed like I'm out of town. This year I was in Vegas and Miami. Last year I would think I was out of town. I was in another country. I think I was in Bucharest. Year before that, I think I was in Tokyo. So usually in August, it get a little dicey. End of July, beginning of August, a little dicey for me. But the one thing that I did notice is that one of the people that was pulling people over whenever they was out of control on Woodward was Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchard, or whatever his name is. I said, wait a minute. Ain't he the head person that's at the top? He running around on golf course, getting people together or whatever, so on and so forth. Every single time I see a news conference, I always see Democrats in these cities. I see Democrats posturing, putting on a good front, making sure that they communicate to the people and all of this stuff. The rest of a lot of these other people, they be in the streets. That Florida sheriff, the one in Broward County, seemed like every other week he on there doing a whole live stream. So listen, guys, we did this operation. We caught 673 pedos trying to talk to little kids and running a trafficking operation. And as long as you keep on doing things in my county, we're coming after you. They stay on it. They do not be messing around. They don't mess around, not even a little bit. Not even a little bit, but neither here nor there. God bless the people over there in Oakland, because y'all gonna need all the help that you can get. I seen this coming years ago. Have you heard about the bounty the U.S. put on barbecue? I have. They didn't put quite the amount of bounty that they put on whatever the other guy is, the guy that was in Venezuela, Maduro. They didn't put 50 million on him. What's the bounty on barbecue? What's the bounty on the Haitian barbecue from the U.S.? Oh, they said we don't know how much Haitian barbecue costs. Okay, we're going to have to refine that. Jaylen Brown's dad was arrested for attempted murder after allegedly stabbing a man several times over in a parking lot dispute. Oh, we're going to have to cover that. Marcellus Brown. We're going to have to pivot. Give me a second. I'm going to read Super Chat shortly. I got to see what's going on right now. Let me see what's happening. I just got to see what's happening. Give me a second. Marcellus Brown used to be a wrestler or something? What's going on? Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news. He was a professional boxer. Okay, so he was a professional boxer. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys really quickly because I got to bring y'all up to speed on what's going on in these streets. Man, Jaylen Brown's father. Good gosh. They got $5 million on barbecue. All right, all right. Thank y'all for continuing to keep me in the loop of what's going on in these streets. Jaylen Brown's dad. Jaylen Brown is the basketball player that plays for the Boston Celtics that makes a ton of money. What was Jaylen Brown's new contract? Let me see something really quickly. Jaylen Brown recently signed a 5-year, $304 million contract, making it the most lucrative contract in NBA history at the time. The deal includes a Supermax extension, which he became eligible for after being named to the All-NBA second team. The contract signing took place at MIT. In a space chosen to represent the next generation of the future. $304 million over 5 years. Jaylen Brown could possibly make $1 billion in the NBA alone. $304 million over 5 years. 5. That is an insane amount of money. That is an egregious amount of money. But yo, young man, get your money. Ball out of control. Ball out of control. That is more than $60 million a year. That is roughly 61, if my math is correct. Somebody correct me. That is roughly $61 million a year. Do you know how much money that is? Do you know how much money that is? $61 million a year? 120 after 2 years, 122 million after 2 years, 183 million after 3 years, 244 million after 4 years, 305 million dollars after 5 years. And he's still in his 20s. He's still in his 20s. And if you've ever heard him talk, he's pretty intelligent. But right after that, his father said, listen, I don't care how successful my son is. I will absolutely end you if you piss me off in a parking lot. Let's get into it. Father of NBA superstar Jaylen Brown arrested for attempted murder after stabbing a man in Vegas. I just came from a Vegas parking lot. I didn't get into it with anybody. Hey, Anton, what's going on? I said, what's happening, big dog? How you feel? He said, can I get a flick? I said, absolutely. Marcellus Brown, the father of Boston Celtics star Jaylen Brown, was arrested in Las Vegas on Wednesday night for attempted homicide following a parking lot dispute. The 57-year-old former professional boxer was taken into custody by Las Vegas Metro Police on Wednesday following the incident at All-American Park. According to officials, the altercation began as an argument over a parking spot. The altercation began after an argument over a parking spot before it turned physical, and Marcellus allegedly stabbed the victim in the stomach. What do I talk about all the time, y'all? What do I talk about all the time, y'all? I always say it. I say it every single time. I said family. Family. We have to learn how to walk away. We have to learn how to not put ourselves in certain positions. We have to learn how to protect our freedom and how not to fumble the bag. Oh my God. When your son makes $304 million, $61 million roughly a year, nigga, ain't no arguments. There is nothing for us to sit here and go back and forth about. I have no disputes with you. I don't have any ego. You know what my slogan is? You got it. You got it. No, but let the crash dummies tell it. Hey, listen, we got to stand on business. Ain't nobody going to disrespect me. Nigga, I don't need your respect. I don't, y'all, listen, I'm going to beat this into your head over and over again because you're going to get some money or your son going to get some money. And I don't want you sitting there trying to stab somebody in a parking lot over a parking space, you fool. 57 arguing with somebody in the parking lot. Man, don't you know who your son is? It would have snapped into me immediately. You know what? Son is making $60 million a year. You know what, bro? I'm sorry. I ain't even tripping about it, bro. You know what? It's cool. Hey, honey, you ready to go? All right, let's go ahead and head in. It could have been over right there. It could have been over right there. Right there. 100%. It could have been over right there. I remember I had got into an accident one time and the person got out the car and it was like, oh man, I can't believe this. Once I seen that, stayed in the car. Yo, you want to exchange information or you want to wait for the police to get here? Then I started playing Peacekeeper. You know what? Man, that's not even that bad. The majority of the damage was on my side, even though you rear-ended me. The majority of the damage is on my car. You know why? Because I got good insurance. You know me, I'm going to get out. I ain't getting out expenses. Hey, is everybody okay? I want to make sure that everybody is good. Y'all good over there? First and foremost, I just want, because we can replace this stuff, bro. We can replace this. This is just stuff. I got that good insurance. I'm not tripping. I don't care. This is a minor inconvenience. I'm not about to get into it with you. I'm not getting into it. I don't care. I don't even think you can bring up an issue big enough for me to argue with you about. I don't even care. You're never going to get me on the body cam getting incessant and upset and going back and forth with somebody. You're never going to see me on a CCTV camera in crash out mode because I don't care. Your son is making $60 million and you're embarrassing him. You're an embarrassment to your son. Said the victim, a local youth coach, was rushed to a nearby hospital and underwent surgery. His current condition is unknown. Police say Brown fled the scene. Now he made it worse. And was later tracked down and is arrested, and he's facing a charge of attempted murder and is due in court on Thursday afternoon. Jaylen Brown, on the flip side, his son, is one of the NBA's top stars that helped lead the Boston Celtics to a championship title in 2024. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. That is so sad. It is so sad that this man's father is taking visibility from some of the great things that he's doing in order to make his son look stupid because you got into an argument with a youth coach. You got into an argument with a youth coach in a parking lot and you stabbed him. Can't take everybody with you. You can't take everybody with you. Can't take. So stupid. So dumb. I mean, I don't even know what you can say about this, bro. I don't even know what to say about this. It's stupid, it's dumb, and it's sad, and it's unfortunate. But again, let me go ahead and read some of these super chats. Let's see what we got here. Such a fool, an old fool. Ain't nothing. It's one thing to be a fool, and it's another thing to be an old fool. Let's see what we got here. All right, shout out to you. I appreciate you, brother's keeper. Thank you for holding me down. Purple Haze says, "Have you seen the Bed Bath and Body Beyond refused to build in Cali? It was on Fox News today." We can talk about that. I had some other stuff lined up, but we can definitely throw that in there. Christopher Mayberry says they found the defendant not guilty in the slaying of young Dolph. Really? Lots to cover tonight. We're gonna talk about that on After Hours. They called me Mr. Bibb, says, did anybody go bathing after the show Tuesday night to make sure to wash those sheets? Yeah, gotta wash, keep your sheets clean. What up, Chad? I'm late, says Carrington Love Jr. Only Carrington would announce that he's late. Chris Cunningham says this is why they hurry up and buy you but they want to call it racism boycott and protest. Carrington in the building says crime levels correlate with the state of the economy, cost of goods and services. There's no way rent is at all-time highs, and large cities are seeing 30% crime drops. Charles Blanco, shout out to Charles Blanco. I appreciate you. Charles Blanco says, good afternoon, Anton. Haven't watched the live in a while. I've been working 13 hours a day, 7 days a week. Continue to be blessed and on my grind. Pray our continued success, and shout out to the Chasers. Make sure y'all tab into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Shout out to Charles Blanco in the building. Event Horizon says, I love when you call out jealous-hearted people. They are the worst. And you know what the worst part about being jealous is that it is crueler than the grave, and you don't even understand it. You'll never be able to understand a jealous person. You'll never be able to understand it. Don't even try. Just pray for them. David Miller says, what you think of DDG and Haley baby situation, that she choosing to be a single mom when he trying to be a dad? Let me write that down because we're going to discuss that tonight. I seen Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union pulled up on Michelle Obama. I seen that. I know that much. I seen that. Jacati Trotter says throwing the legacy away for a parking spot is nasty work. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I seen Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. I started to do a reaction video. I said, you know what? I don't feel like them right now. I don't feel like them, and I don't feel like Michelle. I turned it on yesterday because I was thinking, is it anything that I can mine out of this so that I can use on After Hours? And I'm going to be honest with y'all. You know what I see? What I seen when I turned that on? Fake. The whole screen was fake. Michelle Obama was fake. Craig, with his stuttering behind, is on there, fake. And Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade, they look like the fakest couple that I've ever seen in my entire life. Honestly, look like the fakest couple I've ever seen in my entire life. Let me know. I ain't gonna go there. I'm having such a good day. Let's move on with the show. It just seemed fake. It seemed like, oh, this is a facade, a cookie cutter couple. Oh, it just seemed like a facade, a cookie cutter couple. Y'all getting robbed as y'all coming out. They watching y'all. I want y'all to be aware that as y'all become more successful and as we understand the jealousy from the people that are around us, because we'll never understand it, know that y'all need to watch y'all back. Check it out.
This is 7 News.
Hold on, wait a minute. I need to see their profile pictures again.
This is 7 News at 4:30.
First at 4:30, investigators calling this duo Rolex robbers, the two accused of going on a stealing spree before getting caught. Hello again, everybody. Time's up.
Police say their greed for pricey timepieces left victims in fear for their lives. 7's Jessica Holly is live in Miami Beach with more on this crime spree. Jessica.
Police say each time their work started at the club, watching people leaving and looking for expensive watches on their wrists. Then they would follow them home and pick just the right time to make their move. This pair is out of business. Miami Beach police announcing the end of a crime spree with the arrests of 30-year-old Dwight Gustave and 41-year-old Andrea Banks.
These two individuals not only preyed on victims who were leaving nightclubs, but specifically preyed on individuals with high-end watches.
Investigators say early Sunday they followed a couple home from a Miami club. As the victims hopped out of an Uber along the Venetian Causeway in Miami Beach, they were robbed of a purse and a $200,000 watch. Neighbors hearing all about it.
It's truly incredible. You know, you wouldn't expect it in a neighborhood like this.
Police say the pair also targets visitors. Monday morning, following a couple of guys leaving Live nightclub back to their hotel in the 4000 block of Collins. As they were sitting outside, both had their watches stolen. One of them hit over the head with a gun. The victims in this case, music producers from Texas. Their pricey timepieces prominently displayed on Instagram. Police say Gustave and Banks are tied to two other robberies in the first weekend of August. One along the 1800 block of Collins Avenue, the other in Miami.
Two things to make of this story real quick, y'all. Two things to make of this story. The first thing that I want to let y'all know is this. Whenever people commit crimes, especially people of color, why y'all like to label everything else as black and brown, whenever people commit crimes, especially people of color, the one thing that we know for sure and the two things that we know for certain is that when they are successful the first time, it's not going to be the last time. That's just wetting the appetizer. Black people are serial killers for money. They are the equivalent. Okay, let me revise that. Black criminals. Because it's different types of criminality, all right? Black criminals are the equivalent of serial killers, but for money. Anthony Washington, we don't pay attention to people that don't have profile pictures. And so I'm sorry, sir, but I'm going to just have to go ahead and ignore you because I think you jerk off in your socks. We, for whatever reason, and I don't know if it was because of our ancestors put a hex on us when we were slaves, but most black people cannot break out of the crime cycle. And when we see an opportunity to get rich, or what our definition of rich, because understand, it's the difference between rich and hood rich. Hood rich, you just got to have enough or better than, you just got to be the top dog in your hood. That's it. You got to have a top car. You may wear the same 3 outfits every single day, but you fresher than everybody else. You got a little bit of change in your pocket. And that means that the top hood rat that's in the hood is going to make sure that they holding you down. You know what I'm saying? And so all you got to be is hood rich. That means I'm the top dog in my hood. And so our idea of rich a lot of times, because we don't come from nothing, it's the reason why we sign bad contracts when it comes to record deals. It's the reason why you willing to give up everything in order to just try to get a new car, right? It's easy. When you're hood rich, then you get a taste, a little wetting of the appetite, right? And so now, what we know for a fact is you ain't going to go back to working no regular job. You ain't about to go back to working no regular job. What? Who? You think I'm about to go sling these boxes when I can go rob a dude? Which brings me to point number 2. Be careful. Be careful. Be very, very careful. Y'all going out here, you think you're going to go to Live Miami. Y'all going to go down to Atlanta. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. And guess what? The entire time while you having a good time and you feeling on some chick's butt and you think that you about to take her back to the telly and you about to go and bust her down, is somebody else watching you. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Is somebody watching you? Is somebody else watching you and they hating and they saying why he gotta have it instead of me? You know what? We're gonna go ahead and adopt the same thing that was happening in Los Angeles. Because guess what they was doing? That's originated in Los Angeles. Even though every hood in America know that this goes on, this operated in America. I mean in Los Angeles. Los Angeles mastered. It happened everywhere, but Los Angeles mastered the ability to follow people home from going to luxury stores, from going to clubs, from going to all of these different places, and they follow them home, and then they rob them. And then they rob you. It could be a big back like we see right here. I always feel like somebody's watching me. It could be a big back right here. Mm-hmm. She been through some stuff too. She seen some things. Oh man, that's a bottom chick if I ain't never seen one before. Been through some stuff. Might have got beat up a couple times. What? Be careful, bro. You can't, man, listen, it's getting to the point in culture and in society today, you can't even say what up to nobody no more. You can't even say what up to nobody no more. Honestly, you can't even trust nobody. Hey, sir, little kid walk up to me. I used to take him in, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, all right, listen, I give you $20. Keep it. You ain't got to give me no candy. Hey sir, can I please sell you some candy? My football team practice. I look around the corner, is daddy like this? Hey, is that your daddy over there? Who? Your daddy over there. Your daddy out here, he got you slinging candy? Yes, sir. All right, man. Listen, bro. Here's $20, bro. Daddy hiding around the corner, pimping their kids. I know you pimp your kids. Yeah, I know you pimping your kids. So many different people, parents be pimping their kids. You can't. That's the only reason why you pour into them in order to help him make it into the league, and then you want to guilt trip them. I gave you all of this. I put all of this into you, and you gonna not go to the school that I want you to go to. You're not trying to do the best for your kid, and when he realizes that you putting all into him because you looking at him as an investment, you worse than the boosters that be at the college. Pimping your kids, you pimped your kids since they came out the womb. Got them selling candy, got them doing this, got them doing that. You pimp your chick. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. We good for pimping our people inside of the community. Pimping and scamming. Pimping and scamming. Pimping and scamming. Pimp your kid, scam your chick. You scamming her out of box. Keep on promising her, telling her, yeah, baby, just believe in me. Believe in my dreams. One day I'm going to make it. One day I'm going to make it. You know you ain't never going to make it. You ain't never gonna get there because you ain't doing nothing to get there. You scammed her out of coochie. Yes, you did. Keep selling these pipe dreams, telling her that you're gonna be a better person, that you're gonna get your life together. You're not gonna go back to prison. Wait on me, baby. I'm not gonna go back to prison. Hold me down, telling her not to have no sex while you lock down me, while you having all of the sex in prison. Having all of the sex in prison. You got 2 boyfriends and she can't have nothing. Oh, you got 2. How you gonna have 2 and you not gonna let her have none? Yeah, man, these hoes ain't loyal. These hoes ain't loyal. These hoes ain't loyal, bro. They always switch up. Soon as you down on your luck, they always leave. Soon as you down on your luck, you always leave. You got 2 boyfriends, nigga. You got 2 men taking care of you. You got 2 men, 2 wives in jail, and she can't have one little guy. You already might give her some diseases when you come back home. You got 2 boyfriends in prison and she can't have one little sneaky link. She got to hold you down. All right, well, cool. That's cool.
August, one along the 1800 block of Collins Avenue, the other in Miami.
These 2 are repeat offenders. They're experienced in what they do, and they're very, very precise in who they target, exactly what they want to steal, and they execute it at any means possible.
Gustave was released from state prison in May, and both he and Banks were on probation leading up to their arrests.
We urge anyone with any information or any other victims to come forward so that we can also hold these individuals accountable for those crimes as well.
Police say when they searched Gustave's home, they found more than $170,000 in stolen valuables. If you think you were a victim, you need to reach out to Miami Beach Police.
Dummy is out here robbing people and selling it on Facebook. Robbing people and selling it on Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I believe that a lot of these people that are participating in these robberies, that they don't stop. I think that they got 2 options. You don't want to hear this part. You don't want to believe me. I think that they have 2 options. I think that their main options are this. I think what their goal is this, because this is the only logical explanation. I think that their main goal is to either get super rich and somehow, some way get away with it, 1, or take the chance anyway because you don't really want to not be out of jail unless you're going to be super rich. You missed it. Either be super rich because I'm not really willing to be doing these regular people stuff and I don't want to do this. That's 1. Or I'm going to take the risk anyway because it's better to be in jail and I still got boyfriends back home. Home is jail for a lot of these people, bro. And so it's a win-win situation. I'm not trying to be out here working, paying bills, trying to find something to eat, dealing with these modern women. Man, I got a boyfriend in the crib. That's what they got. They got boyfriends at the crib. So either they can go and live the life that they want and they can do it temporarily until they can get back home. And so I believe that a lot of these people actually don't look at either one of these options, getting arrested, as a bad option. Yo, only thing I got to do is not get killed. I think that this is what they doing. Yo, what you doing, Gustavo? Ain't that what his name was? What you got going on, Gustavo? Trying to make it back to jail. Did y'all see the homeless guy or the guy that got mad because it's a dude, it was a live stream. I don't know if he was homeless or not, but he said that he was pissed at the guy for bailing him out of jail and he was looking to get back to jail. Did y'all see that clip? Where the dude was pissed because he got bailed out and he didn't feel like he had nowhere to go and he wanted to stay in jail? It was like a YouTuber that was doing a good deed and they were bailing people out of jail. Kevin says, I have a cousin that says he feels safer in jail. Yeah, watch him. You seen in Champion Chuck? You saw it, our people? Yeah, Uncle's mad, B. Thomas. Okay, so y'all are familiar with what I'm talking about. We watch the same videos, Broadway. So y'all are familiar with what I'm talking about. Uncle was pissed. He said, what you bail me out for? What I'ma do? He said, I want to go back to jail. He said, oh man. He said, you're going to have to find me a way to get back in there. you're going to have to find me a way to get back in jail. He was pissed. He was pissed. It's sad, ain't it? It's super sad. It's sad, honestly. You gonna have to find me a way to get back in there. What I'm gonna do? I don't know, get a job, work, become a productive citizen. No, that's not an option. All right, well, whatever. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Before I read the super chats, I want to go over to this. I want to revisit this other story. All right, the story where the guy. Oh no, he don't got a Gucci shirt on too. The guy that made the illegal U-turn that the minivan crashed into. They have filed charges on him, and they've also released the footage from inside to show you the full layout of exactly what happened. He got a Gucci shirt on too.
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox, 11:44 on the East Coast, 8:44 on the West Coast. My name is Josh Breslow, and I'm here to bring you all of your top stories and live events from across the country and across the world. We do have new details after an undocumented migrant truck driver was charged with causing a crash that killed 3 people in Florida. The suspect was arrested over the weekend on 3 counts of vehicular homicide. And as I said, there is a lot of information coming out here. Jonathan Seri with Fox News joining us now live to discuss much more about all of this and that new information. Jonathan, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Obviously, a lot of eyes on this story.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's becoming a political hot potato between red and blue states. Always good to be with you, Josh. That trucker you were talking about is 28-year-old Harjinder Singh, an Indian national who crossed over to the U.S. through the Mexican border illegally. He was arrested 2 days later. This was back in 2018, but then was released to allow him to go through the courts because he was claiming that he was living in fear of returning back to his country of origin. He is expected to be returned to Florida later this week to face prosecution for state charges of vehicular homicide. Singh, who's being held without bail in San Joaquin County, California, appeared in court with an interpreter yesterday. He agreed to sign paperwork for his extradition. And
I'm just confused, y'all. And you right, Molly. That nigga look every bit of 42. They ain't no way in the world you gonna convince me that Singh is 28 years old. Use a lie. And this is why we gotta start vetting these migrants. They coming over here and lying about their age. And that's for real. They coming over here and they're lying about their age. Yeah, I'm 28. Nigga, you ain't no 28 years old. How do we know this? How do we know that the information that these migrants have given as they come over here illegally, because we don't even know anything about them, how do we know that these people is even 28? How do we know that this is their real name? How do we know that he's 28? Ain't no way in the world you gonna tell me that Singh is 28 years old. No way, no how. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And they can't even speak English. How come y'all don't ever speak English? When I go over into another country, I get in after about day 2, and that's why I only want to spend about 4 days in another country. I got 1 week in me, 5 days max. 1 day there to travel, because usually it's like 12, 13, 14, 15 hours as you travel, and then you either miss a day because daytime is like ahead 12 hours or some crap, and then another 12 to come back home, and then you can rewind time because you behind 12 hours or something, right? And when I go over to another country, after about day 2, day 3, I'll be like, this is getting a little cumbersome, because I'm tired of going through my apps, trying to use Google Translate. And then when I am translating something, I'm talking to me, and then I put my phone up to their face or some dumb stuff. And if it's not an area where they speak a lot of English, I'll be like, listen, if I'm going to continue to spend time over here, I'm about to start learning the language. They be over here for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30 years and can't speak a lick of English. They be over here for 1,000 years and don't speak no English. Get a driver's license. Don't you got to pass a test to get a driver's license? How they able to get these driver's licenses? They don't speak no English. And they just be living. They own homes, drive trucks, be in the United States of America, driving state to state, get a commercial truck license. You can't even pass the test. And these dudes can't even speak English. But they there, and they in these trucks, and they got a seatbelt on, and they got their turban on, and they driving. And they be bad on the road. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it 100. They driving skills is so bad. Either they all the way crazy or they all the way wild. You get on, I almost can guarantee it. If I get on the freeway and they going slow in the fast lane, either it's a modern woman or it's a foreigner. Every single time, bro. Every single time. Either it's a modern woman that's sitting real close to her steering wheel like this and looking at you like you crazy because you're going around her, or it is a illegal that is driving. Dog, I seen a woman that was driving a Chevy Malibu today, and it was a string holding her door closed, and it was partially open because it had got hit in the front, and so like the little part where it's the fender going over to the driver's side door, it was bent in, and the door was bent out, and she had a string that was holding it on, and she was driving on the freeway. I said, what the f is going on? If I wasn't so trying to get to the office so I can take care of business, honest to God, bro, it was a woman. And this is how I know y'all struggling out here in these streets. You got a string on your door. Y'all down bad. Illegal migrants and a lot of these women is down bad. It was a string holding the door together. Like it was tied. Looked like a shoestring tied together. No, Denise. Listen, I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you the truth. It was a string and the door was open. I thought the door was going to fly open until I got closer and I realized that it was a string on her door. I'm in the fast lane. She in the middle lane. That's how I'm able to see the driver's side door. And she got a string on her Chevy Malibu gray. Should have got the license plate and reported it to the police. There's no way you could tell me that she should have been on the freeway. Ain't no way that she should have been on the freeway with that car. Tires bald, door open, and she's sitting in that car with her bonnet on, trying to get to wherever it is that she got to go. I said, oh, God. She going to fall out the car. She's going to fall out the car. She's going to fall out the car. It's always an illegal or a woman that is on the freeway doing something that they're not supposed to do. Every single time. They get licenses. Look, I think that's how the police got to have a vendetta against men. They not against black men in particular. They against men. Police officers got to be against men because we can't even drive our car 13 feet with a suspended license in a car without us getting pulled over. We got a man. Doesn't really matter what his demographic is. We got a man driving a car. I suspect that his license is suspended. So we're going to pull him over, take him to jail, and impound his car. Women just be driving. They be going down the street looking stupid. The police just look right past them and come and pull you over behind them. Hey, man, didn't you just see her door was open all the way and she ain't got no bumper? I guarantee you she ain't got no... Process of elimination will tell you that she ain't got no insurance. She can't have no insurance because look at her car. Sir, please get out the car. process of elimination will tell you that she ain't got no. I said, sir, please get out of the vehicle. Keep your hands where we can see them, or we will be busting open the window. All right? Yeah, okay, officer. Why'd you get your motherfucking hands on the. Nick, did I ask you a question? Sorry. You didn't see that woman that was in front of me driving it. Nick, where the cuffs at? Arrest him. Put him in the back of the car. I can't go 5 feet doing the wrong way. I jaywalked the wrong way. Sir, you didn't see the crosswalk up there? Yeah, but my location is right here and there ain't no cars coming down the street. Can I get back up over here to Cass 2nd Avenue between Woodward and 2nd on Willis Street? Dog, I just was crossing the street. I was coming from the corner store. But you don't have the proper shoes. Did you go in that store and it says no shoes, no shirt, no service? Yeah, but I got shirt and I got shoes. They sandals. Sir, get your hands on the wall. I need to see what you got going on. This basehead woman, she coming up asking, she could literally ask you for crack right in front. You got anything on you? I suck, yo. I'm sorry, ma'am. Sir, are you over there soliciting box? Are you over there promising that young woman, that one young, beautiful, diversity, equity, and inclusion woman? Are you over there petitioning her for sex? Put your hands on the wall, sir. Man, I didn't say nothing to her. She just came over here asking. What did she do? She asked me because she sucked my stuff. And what did you say? I said, no, we don't believe you because we know ain't nobody turning down no head from Miss Mabel right here. Put your hands on the wall. Put your hands on the wall. We need to at least see if you got something on you. You know what? And y'all just let Mabel get by. Yeah, nigga, Mabel suck everybody off. We know that you ain't turning down. Ain't nobody turn. I ain't seen a man turn down head from Miss Mabel ever. And she offered to give you some free stuff. What you offer? Just don't even say nothing. Just don't even say nothing. I'm telling you, bro. Men can't breathe wrong. Men can't breathe wrong or they are going to get stopped, and you better have everything in order. You better have your license, registration, and insurance, even if you're not driving a car. Sir, I was just sleeping in a car. Yeah, but I need to see if you're drunk sleeping in a car, because anytime that you turn on the engine, even if it's to get warm, that is operating a motor vehicle, sir. And I need to make sure that you are not drunk. Breathalyzer test. Take 1, 2, 3 steps backwards, frontwards. Every time, bro. Every single time. But migrants and women, they can do anything. They could be. What? All right, here's the question that I got before we get back to him. How come women never get trafficking charges? Just a thought. Why do women not get, do y'all not traffic yourselves? So if I help you traffic yourself, then I can get arrested for trafficking and do football numbers. But you can be out here selling coochie all day long and you just can go sell coochie and that's it. Go over there to some of these hot spots. Go to that. No, you don't go because you're going to get arrested and you ain't got a proper license. Go to some of these hot spots and look at them trafficking themselves. Why don't women? I've never seen a woman get a trafficking charge. I've never seen a woman get a trafficking charge. Ever. Y'all can sell box all day long. And a guy says, hey man, I'm going to drive you over to your destination, and that is getting football numbers.
and Florida authorities must pick him up by August 27. Singh was driving on Florida's Turnpike last week when authorities say he attempted an illegal U-turn, blocking oncoming traffic. A minivan slammed into the trailer, killing 3 Florida residents inside. Following the wreck, investigators with the U.S. Department of Transportation gave Singh an English language proficiency test. According to a DOT press release, the driver failed the assessment, providing correct responses to just 2 of 12 verbal questions and only accurately identifying 1 of 4 highway traffic signs. Because Singh, who entered the U.S. from Mexico in 2018, is an asylum seeker from India, the DOT says Washington state violated federal guidelines by issuing him a full-term commercial driver's license in 2023. And they say New Mexico State Police appear to have failed to assess his English skills during a roadside inspection earlier this year. Additionally, the DOT says it's investigating whether California acted within federal guidelines when it issued Singh a limited term.
That translator, it looked like she about Indian. That's a handsome young man. That's a handsome young man right there. And them type of chicks always got them a man. They always stay married too. That's a handsome young man. This is the actual footage.
We are learning new
And he had a passenger too.
details tonight about that truck driver accused in last week's deadly crash over on the Turnpike in Fort Pierce.
Yes, right. And for the first time, video from inside.
I see you, baby girl. I see you, baby girl. They winning on that side. What news station is this?
The cab shows the exact moment of impact.
Yeah, CBS 12's Katie Benty is joining us tonight live with how this case has sparked a national debate over immigration and trucking safety.
Well, Jim, Luli, this is really about more than just one bad U-turn. The truck driver accused of causing it is undocumented, licensed in California under a controversial law. And now new video taken inside his cab shows the very moment that everything went horribly, horribly wrong. Video circulating online shows the shocking view from inside a semi as a minivan slams into the trailer and wedges underneath. Troopers say that driver, 28-year-old Harjinder Singh, had just made an illegal U-turn cutting across the Florida Turnpike in Fort Pierce last Tuesday. The move left his big rig blocking all northbound lanes. The minivan had no time to brake. All 3 people inside from Broward and Miami-Dade counties were killed.
Let me see something. That minivan, to be honest with y'all.
Wedges underneath. Troopers say that driver, 28-year-old Harjinder Singh, had
That minivan. I'll tell you this right now, they wasn't paying attention. They wasn't paying attention, not even a little bit. That's why you got to be okay on it. You got to be stop. That's why they tell you don't be on your phone and all of that. I guarantee you that minivan, they weren't even paying even close attention. They was full speed, no slamming on the brakes, no slowing down, no none of that stuff. That minivan was going the whole speed and slammed directly right into that trailer. That minivan was not paying attention to what was going on the road. And I'm just telling you the real. Like, I know people don't want me to say this part, and it don't mean that they deserve to die, and it don't mean that he don't deserve to be held accountable. But that minivan, ain't no way in the world that that van was paying attention at all. They wasn't even aware that an 18-wheeler was making a U-turn. Wasn't even aware that 18-wheeler was making a U-turn. That van was not paying no attention. Either they was halfway asleep, or they was looking at their phone, or they was changing the music, watching the YouTube video, something. 50% Simp says you shouldn't expect that though. Agreed. I listen, 2 things. Y'all got to remember, when we break down different moments of what is happening and we assessing these things, we're not casting judgment on right or wrong. We just calling out the details. I'm telling you that minivan wasn't paying attention. That van was gone. Ain't no way in the world you not. I was in my Cadillac, my STS, back when I was broke. And I was going over to Butco. I was working at Butco. In Highland Park. I was driving from the crib, going over to Butco, and I was driving, and I had bald tires, and I started going. Some of y'all in Detroit may know this one. When you're going down onto Davidson to take the 94 over to Davidson in order to be able to come up on Woodward, and then you go down over in the Butco, over in the Highland Park, it's this sharp turn. It was the wintertime. My tires wasn't so great because I was trying to save money, trying to minimize costs. You know what I'm saying? Tire wasn't so great. I started to go into that little side turn. You know, you're going a little too fast and it's a little slick outside. Got that black ice out there. Going into that little slide turn up. Hey! Hey! You slide down in your car a little bit to try to, like that's going to help it stop a little bit. Did that little jackknife turning a little bit. I caught it just in time. It looked like the ice was a little loose on that part. Shook it back in. Never even touched the side of the little freeway things. Never even touched the side. I said, God is real. God is good all the time. Oh, God, Jesus, Lord, have mercy. People started beeping behind me. I said, give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm telling you, you be situated. I went through some stuff in my life, yo. I've had some real life or death moments. I've had some real life or death moments. Been through some stuff. Driving with bald tires. I know what it feels like. Well, I had to get out of the passenger side door because the driver's side door wasn't working. It started swinging to the right a little bit more. Adrenaline started going through you. Oh, Jesus. First thing you say, oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh, thank you, Jesus. You know, that's what we was taught when we was coming up. Start pleading the blood when something happened. Jesus, I plead the blood. Oh, Jesus. Car just was sliding. No traction at all. Car hooked back up. So look at God. Look at God. Look at God. He didn't even react, though. That's how I know something got to be wrong. Either he a serial killer or something, because he didn't even react. He seen a car go full speed into his jackknifing trailer trying to turn on the little median part. Have I ever seen AC on the window? Absolutely. Absolutely. He didn't even flinch. He just driving. He just chilling.
Made an illegal U-turn, cutting across the Florida Turnpike in Fort Pierce last Tuesday.
That
the
car
move left his big rig blocking all northbound lanes. The minivan had no time to brake. All three people inside from Broward and Miami-Dade counties were killed. Singh is now charged with 3 counts of vehicular homicide. He's being held
in the took that picture because he was stunting. That's not even a real Gucci shirt, but we gonna get there. We gonna get there. They don't even make the shirts with the G's that big on them. They smaller. The G's is a little smaller than that.
Lucey County Jail with an ICE detainer, meaning he'll be deported after his criminal case. Federal records show Singh entered the U.S. illegally through the southern border in 2018. Records also show he got his commercial license in California. Under a law called AB 60, passed in 2013, undocumented immigrants can apply for driver's license, even commercial ones. The state argues it's safer to have everyone.
Yeah, he is psychopath all day long. And that's not a real Gucci shirt, but that's okay. Because they don't, like I said, they don't make shirts with the G's that big. And he set that into his, he put that in the window and he did the countdown timer. Because he said, I'm going to post this to my Instagram and I'm going to get all the ladies. I'm going to get all the ladies. He should have been in 7-Eleven. He should should have been at 7-Eleven. But he's over here driving a semi. Not doing what he was supposed to do. Should have been slanging smoothies, but they gave him a commercial driver's license. That's okay. That's okay. We'll go ahead and get you back to your country, and that's gonna be the end of it. Should have been putting smoothies out, refilling Kit Kats, and putting the Doritos. You know they got the Select brand at 7-Eleven, the fake brand. No, you decided to be ambitious. You want to be a CDL driver. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get you back to where you came from. How about that? Sing. Anyways. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's something wrong with me. I don't know where all of this comes from. I don't know where these stories come from. I don't know what jogs my memory that allows for me to bring up certain stories at certain times. I don't know where I got the whole 7-Eleven thing from. It's just comes. It just floats. Just comes out into the air. Magnificent Gaming says crime rates may be down. Everybody unalived and leaving liberal cities because of Democrat failures. Yeah. Carrington Love Jr. is in the building, says, Anton, I used to own a music distribution app about 10 years ago. You need to look at the way Nephew Tommy has his content distributed on Spotify. Steve Harvey, Joe Rogan. Yeah. Maybe. I'm not really trying to be everywhere at all the time. I just want to be at one place. That's it. Carrington Love Jr. says, part 2, you can get paid master recording, composer publishing, and sound exchange radio royalties if you distribute the Millionaire Morning Show as a podcast. Thank me later. All right, I'll look into it. You've pushed me. If I can get a bag chaser to do that research for me and figure out what that looks like and how much more effort it'll take, that would be helpful. Terrible People Podcast says, shout out to all of the 39-year-old rappers born in the 80s who keep changing their birth dates on their bios to be young to compete with Gen Z. Jovan Raps, shout out to my dog, Terrible People Podcast. David Simpson Jr. says, Unc got the weave like Trump. Always a story to answer a question. Oh, my dad does the same thing, doesn't dismiss those life lessons, though. Free Thinker says there is a shooting at the University of Tennessee. What else is new? That's what happens with liberals. Which Bible edition are you always suggesting? I read the King James Version, Mr. Tony Williams. I personally go with the KJV. All right, that's my thing. Mr. Joe says import the third world, become the third world Charlie Kirk. Facts. Mr. Lott says, what's the music they be listening to? I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do the names. I'm not going to do the sound. Y'all making me laugh before I even tell a joke. I'm not doing it because I can already see the joke in my head. Gumby Head says Chris Cunningham. Facts. Rags from Texas in the building says it's not even Friday and you cutting up, big dog. I've been cutting up all week. You know what I'm saying? Christopher Mayberry says, I'm convinced there's a woman named Mabel who watches the show, and every time you say her name, she throws her remote at the TV. Shout out to Mabel. Did you see the whistleblower in Kentucky who was fired for exposing how the DMV was giving illegal drivers licenses and CDLs for $200 a pop? Yeah, I did see it. I seen it in my feed. I seen it on YouTube in my feed, but I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. David Simpson Jr. says, how do women get off? As Jason Whitlock said, big racks and peanut butter skin officers are thinking I'm 3 years from full pension. Oh, man. And officers, they fall for the prettiest faces. They just like all of the rest of us. Jason A-Team says, it's going to be a thing that companies give out CDLs to illegals just to pay them less. Either that or they fake from somewhere. It's insane to me. Chris H says, I was saying it earlier this week, the migrant truck drives don't give a F. Me says, welcome to the F around and find out state. Keita in the building says AD got them sound effects like dude from Police Academy. I just be talking. I don't know what's wrong with me, Keita. Keita, I don't know what's wrong with me, Keita. I just be talking, but I know one thing's for sure and two things is for certain. Pam Bondi still ain't playing around, so y'all can mess around and find out if you want to. She ain't playing no games.
Vice President Vance firing back at people protesting the federal takeover of D.C.'s police department. Take a listen.
This is the guy who thinks people don't deserve law and order in their own community.
Pete Hegseth and Stephen Miller were also on hand. They were there.
That's how I used to laugh at my boss's jokes in corporate America. And they used to be so. You see how Pete Hegseth right there? That's why Pete Hegseth still got that job, baby. Don't matter what Pete do. All you got to do is laugh at the jokes. Y'all gonna learn that in corporate America. One day you gonna get it. You keep on trying to keep it real. You keep on trying to make sure that you know, oh man, I don't know about that. You know, you keep doing all of that. No, you got to learn how to laugh at jokes, even if they just vanilla jokes. Look at Pete.
This is the guy who thinks people don't deserve law and order in their own community.
Hey, Vance, you're a hoot. That's how I used to laugh. I used to do a big hearty laugh. That's oh, step aside, guys. That's how I used to laugh. That's how I used to laugh in corporate America. I used to do the same thing that Pete Hegseth just did.
This is the guy who thinks people don't deserve law and order in their own community.
Law and order. Oh, jeez, look at that guy. He doesn't like law and order. Good one, JD. Good one, Jay. Oh, I used to do the same laugh. Oh, say it again. Say it again. Say it again. Oh, y'all better learn how to play the game, baby. Y'all better learn how to play the game. I used to laugh the same way every time. Couldn't believe it. Oh, couldn't believe you just said that out loud. Oh, I can't stop laughing. It's too much. Oh. Here's the thing about that, though. Sometimes you would do the fake laugh a lot of times, and then eventually I would start laughing at myself for how much I'm fake laughing. And then I used to really start thinking that it was funny. And they would think that their jokes was funny, but I was laughing at me, laughing at them, thinking that they were funny because I wasn't really laughing, but I was laughing at the fact that I was still laughing. I used to laugh. I used to force myself to laugh at these stupid jokes. And that's one of the things that got me a promotion, neither here nor there. I used to force myself to laugh at these stupid jokes, and I would laugh at myself, and then I would eventually turn into like this hearty laugh that was very funny because I would just be cracking up at the fact that I was laughing at how stale the joke was. Ain't that crazy? Yeah. Look at Pete. Look at Pete. I'm not even supposed to be talking about Pete right now, but I'm just saying, look at Pete. Look how wide his mouth is. Oh my God. This is so dumb. Let's continue.
Pete Hegseth and Stephen Miller were also on hand. They were there to thank National Guardsmen who've been protecting Union Station. Here's what the vice president told Laura Ingraham.
I had heard from a couple of friends who used to avoid Union Station because there were vagrants and there were crazy people screaming at kids, that they avoided Union Station. But over the past 9 days, since the president did this emergency order, it looks a lot better. It feels a lot safer. So I was talking with Stephen Miller and with Pete Hegseth about this in the Oval Office yesterday. And I was like, we should just go over there and say hello to people. And you've got a lot of National Guardsmen over there, some D.C. cops who have been heckled by some of the protesters. So I thought, what a good show of moral support to have the vice president and some of the senior team at the White House show up. We bought him some burgers, hang out with him a little bit.
And President Trump writing on Truth Social, quote, just like our southern border is now 100% secure, Washington, D.C. is safe again, and we have just begun the process of revival. Lucas Tomlinson live in D.C. this morning with more on this. Hi, Lucas.
Good morning, Bill. A show of force by the Trump administration at Union Station, the nation's capital. The vice president, defense secretary, and deputy chief of staff showing their support to National Guard soldiers and the police and drawing the ire of protesters. Let's hear more from that video.
This is the guy who thinks people don't deserve law and order in their own community. I know that we've traded now some violent, crazy people who are screaming at kids with a few crazy liberals who are screaming at the vice president. But I think that's a very worthwhile trade to make because we want our people to be able to enjoy our beautiful cities.
Now, for context, Bill, last year the murder rate in Washington, D.C. was nearly 4 times higher than in your home in Los Angeles and nearly 6 times more than where you are right now in New York. D.C. police claims violent crime is down 27% this year. The Justice Department would like a word and is now investigating those numbers. Now, since this new show of force in D.C. with the National Guard and feds patrolling the streets, violent crime is down 30% and robbery down nearly 50%. Attorney General Pam Bondi providing an operational update this morning on X, posting, we've now made a total of 630 arrests and seized 86 illegal guns in D.C. 53 arrests were made yesterday, plus 24 ICE arrests and 10 guns taken off the streets. Here's Stephen Miller.
That's insane, bro. That's insane. 630 arrests since they've taken over. 86 illegal guns on the street. 53 arrests just yesterday, plus 24 ICE arrests and 10 guns taken off the street. I did not know that D.C. had such a high crime rate compared to other cities. I did not know this.
Posting, we've now made a total of 608 this morning, 50%. Attorney General Pam Bondi providing an operation. The National Guard is now investigating those numbers. Now, since this new show of force in D.C. with the war claimless and nearly 6...
I did not know that Washington, D.C., literally where the White House is located, that it was this much worse as far as the homicide rate, that it was exponentially higher than it was in other places that were Democratic strongholds. I did not know this. I am learning more and more and more and more about what is happening. It says, ask us natives a done. Honestly, I did not know that it was this bad out in D.C. So wait a minute. I've been misdirecting my anger. I've been misdirecting where I've holding people accountable. Now, that's not to say that Los Angeles is awesome or New York is awesome or that even Chicago is awesome. But when you got it 4 times higher, the homicide rate is 4 times higher than in Los Angeles. Oh, D.C., y'all have been escaping the wrath for a long time. I did not know Chocolate City was out here chocolatey. Because at first, when Trump first took over, I was like, well, it makes sense that they would take over and they would get things in order in D.C. first because it's the place that the White House is located. And you can't be sitting here talking about bullets whizzing through everywhere when you right up the street from the White House. I mean, ideally, you would kind of go through it and you would say, Well, people are going to be a lot more careful because there's way more, stuff happening. You got Secret Service, you got government employees, you got the Congress is over there, you got House of Representatives, you got everybody that's over in D.C. Ain't no way that they over there, going crazy in Chocolate City. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. So this is supposed to be the blueprint. If you can tackle DC, apparently, according to the rates and the statistics, then you can tackle anywhere. I did not know that DC was this crazy. Somebody said, have you been to DC? About 5 times. I've had 3 meetups in DC. And then the other 2 times that I went more than 5 times because I've been to the White House. 2 of the times, it was really just like going to the White House or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And all of that. The other 3 times, a couple of them, I actually went around DC, right? Because I was there for a few days and a day after and all of that. And so I had the time. That's when I was going, went and visited, went out, seen outside of the White House. And that's when I discovered all of the tent cities. And I went into the hoods and I was seeing what was going on. And I was like, man, is DC this bad? But you don't really get to see it as hard because, you're still not there but for a couple days. So even if I see some stuff going on and I seen a bunch of tent cities and I seen some vagrants and this and that and so on and so forth, I wasn't out at night. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in the hood at night. I wasn't in places that I wasn't supposed to be in. You still, in the relatively chill places, and then you get home at a certain time, and so you're not experiencing some of this stuff. So again, they said, AD, you went where security was. No, I have my own security. So again, I wasn't going to experience it the same way that everybody else. Everybody know that anytime that I'm moving around DC, that I'm going around anywhere else, New York, whatever, that I have security with me. So every time I'm in Atlanta, every time I'm in DC, every time I'm in Houston, I have security with me. So I don't need to worry about stuff in the same rate that everybody else worries about. Even when I'm there, the security is like, I don't think that that's best for you. We're going to go this way, or we're going to do this, or we're going to do that. And so a lot of people see my security when I do the meetups. I have security with me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Hotel room is right next to mine. So I don't experience it the same way that everybody else is when I go there. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just being honest. Like, I'm not telling you stunting or nothing like that. I don't want to spend extra money on security. I don't want to have security rolling with me or traveling with me or anything like that. So, everywhere my people are, every time I go somewhere, I'm going to make sure that everybody else is comfortable. I'm going to make sure that all of the bag chasers are safe because my security is not just there for me. He's also there because they want to make sure that the whole thing and the whole venue is safe. Somebody says you don't need security in New York City. You just need to know how to walk in New York. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and roll with security because I'm not trying to mimic a Denzel walk in order to make sure that I'm safe. I'm straight. I'm going to go ahead and take my, I'm going to go ahead and do my own thing. But again, I wasn't familiar. I didn't know. And I'm going to tell y'all how y'all know y'all got good security because a lot of these guys, I see these rappers out here, they had their homeboys with them and stuff and they call them security. That nigga ain't security. That dude will get stomped out. Let me tell you how you know you got good security, okay? Let me tell you how you know you got good security. He knows what my agenda is for the day. So I give him, actually, I don't even give it to him. They lay it out. They find it out. Hey, where's Rita gonna be? Where you gonna be? What y'all got going on for the day? What time, are we, whatever? Because they need to schedule their lives and what time that they go and eat and all of this stuff with you. So they usually get an agenda like 2 or 3 days ahead of time of what I'm going to be doing, where I'm going, if I'm going shopping, all of this stuff, right? Pivoting, that's usually far and few in between because it creates a problem, right? Because What they do is they go out ahead of time and they go and check out different areas and they go and see what the vibes is and they go and check and see if anything is happening. And so they kind of do, the vetting a day ahead or whatever, and they find out what's going on. And so they know the best routes to take. They know which places to avoid. They go and look at the situation. They go and, check whatever the owners are at the establishment to make sure everything is going to be cool. And so if you get the right type of security and stop being cheap with your safety. All right. If you getting money, stop being cheap with your safety. If you get the right type of security, they're already going to be ahead of you 10 steps. That's why they make the big bucks. That's why you pay them so much. All right. So just letting y'all know, when you start getting security and stuff, spend some money on the things that actually matter. But I didn't know that DC was like this. The black people should absolutely be ecstatic that they in there. Yep. Daryl Sanders, either former military or their former, I'm not saying what they are, but y'all know the bag chasers that see them, they know what they are. But 630 people arrested, 86 illegal guns off the street. People should be ecstatic at that. That should not be something that people complain about. That should be something that we celebrating. And when I see all of these Democrats whining about the fact that we getting all of these guns off the streets, I hate them for that. I hate y'all for that. Why are they complaining about the fact that we are getting guns off the streets?
Seized 86 illegal guns in D.C. 53 arrests were made yesterday, plus 24 ICE arrests and 10 guns taken off the streets. Here's Stephen Miller.
We're going to dismantle those networks, and we're going to prove that a city can serve for the law-abiding citizens who live there. We are not going to let the communists destroy a great American city, let alone the nation's capital.
Miller also referred to those protesters as, quote, elderly white hippies, Bill.
Heard that one. All right, Lucas Tomlinson live in D.C. for us this morning. Lucas, thanks.
And Will Kane joins.
I said this earlier on a video that I did earlier, and I'm going to say it again. We say a lot of what people deserve, but often at times it's misguided, and I'm going to explain to y'all exactly what I mean by that. I see people say stuff like, oh, you deserve a good man. You deserve to be rich. You deserve this. You deserve that, right? But the reality is that the only thing that people truly deserve, that they should not have to earn, but that they deserve. The only thing, in my opinion, that people truly deserve is safety. That's the only thing that I can think of that you deserve and that you probably shouldn't have to earn is safety. Nobody, and I mean nobody, I can't speak for other countries because I ain't in other countries. I am not a citizen of other countries. But nobody should have to feel uncomfortable and unsafe because they are walking down the street, especially in a neighborhood that they are familiar with, that they grew up in. Nobody, in my opinion, should have to feel unsafe in the United States of America, especially when you are in a major city. That is the only thing that I can think of that people deserve. You don't deserve free health care. You don't deserve a man. You don't deserve a woman. You don't deserve a good man. You don't deserve a good woman. You are a reflection of the thing that you attract. You get what you earn when it comes to you don't work, you don't eat. But at the same time, nobody should feel unsafe in their city, especially when we paying taxes for public safety officials and officers. Nobody should get robbed. Nobody should be losing their life. No, I'm never going to side with the criminals on that. I'm not going to victim shame. People should not be unsafe in the cities that they live in. That's a minimum. That's a minimum. That should be a human right. And so if we don't do anything else, we should have public safety. And when I see people protesting against public safety and then they leave and they go off into their neighborhoods where they don't have to worry about the same thing that the people that are committing the crimes that they have to worry about, then I have to start questioning our humanity, because you can't protest somebody being safe, or you can't protest against somebody being safe. That's unreasonable. That should be a minimum expectation. People should be allowed to feel safe where they live, work, and play. White, black, Indian, Asian, Hispanic, mutt, I don't care what you are. Nobody should feel unsafe and nobody should be unsafe. Everybody should be able to walk down the street without any kind of problems. Why should any of us be against that? And then people will jump on there on Monday night and say stuff to me like, well, police should... I ain't even going to get into it. Anyways, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel with turn on notifications. Let me cover this last subject and then I'm going to read super chats. And I did have another subject, but I got to go and pick up my daughter because we got a daddy-daughter outing today. Matter of fact, let me call her.
Hello.
Hey, baby, how you sleep?
Hi, good.
You want to meet me at 4:30?
Sure, yeah, I can meet you at 4:30.
Okay. All right. I'll see you there. You know where to go?
No.
All right.
All right.
All right, bye. All right. So, Time Dog has to go, and I don't care if y'all know what I'm doing. We going to go go shop for some cars, and then we gonna go inspect some other cars and order some new cars. So that's our thing. My daughter and I, that's our big thing. We love cars together. Usually when we together, 95% of the time, we talking about cars. So she's showing me videos. We going over specs. We talking about what's better, twin turbo V8 or certain V10s, flat sixes, turbocharged flat sixes, naturally aspirated, new electric motors, all of that type of stuff. And so she is super into cars. And I'm super into cars. I've always been into cars. So that's what we out. So that's what we got going to do. So I got to go meet with her and we going to link up and take care of the business. But I will tell y'all that we do have after hours tonight. So you should be looking forward to after hours tonight. You'll be able to see your favorites, Molly, Carrie, Mika, Kimmy. You'll be able to see them all. All of the beautiful ladies, all right? And then you got me and Slimmy and maybe 2K. I don't know. Sometimes 2K be busy. And then you got my dog Q Diddy in there. So we put on a good show for y'all. We're going to put up a good show for y'all. But before we get out of here, we got to address the cover photo issue right here, right now. Okay? And I want you guys to understand that one of the things that you also deserve is an opportunity to go and find a good job. Not to have a good job, but an opportunity to go and find one. And that's not happening in Denver. As I told you, these cities are going to start laying off. Over 171 people eliminated, 600 city positions gone.
The city of Denver is laying off employees and eliminating hundreds of positions as it faces a massive budget shortfall. This week, 171 people will lose their jobs, though we still don't know which departments those people work for and the impact that will have on public services. 9 News reporter Mark Salinger is following the breaking news this afternoon. Hey, Mark.
Yeah, Sam, the headline here is the 171 people who were laid off, but the city is also cutting 665 more positions that are currently unfilled. They're not filling those those positions.
Talk to
Another
him, Monique.
92 positions will be transferred off the city general fund to another funding source. So that brings the total number of positions impacted by these announcements today to 928, or around 8.4% of the city's workforce. Today, many employees with the city of Denver were told to work from home as the layoffs began. We're told the layoff.
If you are told to work from home, all right, so let me revise this. If you are told to work from home as an employee, like as a workforce, okay, as a workforce, but you are one of the people that they tell to come into the office, or sometimes they just say work from home, and what they'll do is they'll do a remote meeting on your calendar, and they just throw it on your calendar, and then it's a meeting with you and HR, you know you're getting laid off. That's it. You're getting laid off. The people should have already been prepping for this. I said during the migrant crisis that this was going to happen. I'm telling y'all, the city of Chicago, Los Angeles, Baltimore, state governments, y'all are going to be getting laid off. Listen, you need to start job hunting. You need to get your resume together. You need to start putting things together immediately. Immediately. If you work for a government entity, right, and you work for a city, state, or federal office, you need to be prepared at all times. You need to be cutting your spending, lowering your expenses, minimizing your costs, getting your resume together, and being prepared. You should have been doing all of it. You shouldn't even be taking no trips at this point, honestly. You shouldn't be taking no trips at this point, because all of these cities that were basically, let me tell you what was going on. Cities and states shored up their budgets with COVID funds. Cities and states would shore up their budgets with COVID funds. The reason why cities felt so compelled to comply with the Biden administration when it came to the illegal migrants was because they were expecting another influx of cash, which would absolutely make them arrogant. That's why the Brandon Johnsons, the Mike Johnston in Denver, who is now laying off 171 people in over 600 positions, 980 positions being impacted. That's why they all signed the decree. We're going to make sure that we show up and get these illegal migrants jobs, and we're going to give them care. See, that's the part that they don't tell you, is that they were essentially, by proxy, promised to get an influx of cash to basically allow for them to keep their positions without managing the city government and resources effectively, and so that they can tout their successes with balancing the budget. But they weren't balancing the budget. They were using COVID funds so that they can ultimately make themselves look good, and that's why they were so compelled to work with the federal government as far as the Biden administration, and they all signed the paperwork. Not Lori Lightfoot, Brandon Johnson, Eric Adams. Eric Adams was the first person to break off. He was the first person to realize and say, you know what? I think that we getting a little finesse here. I don't know if no money is coming. We ain't seen no payments. We ain't seen them petition Congress. We ain't seen no budget adjustments. We ain't seen no emergency funds. But we up here spending all of our own personal money and all of our own money, and they keep acting like they going to reimburse us. And the minute that Eric Adams started speaking out was the minute that Eric Adams caught charges. That kept the other mayors in line. That kept the other four in line. Mike Johnston, the Houston mayor at the time, Karen Bass, and it was one more. Mike Johnston, Karen Bass, Michelle Wu, she was in there, right? All of them was in there. All of them was working. They was hiding migrants inside of the airports. They were giving government contracts out to these ghost companies that was ultimately doing nursing. And remember, I was reporting on it almost every day from 2022 all the way up until the election. I was holding it down. I was reporting on it. I was going through the city budgets. I was putting the pressure on these people, and I was making sure that people was becoming informed that this migrant crisis was absolutely planned and it was manufactured for y'all to be able to get taken advantage of, and for them to continue to traffic people through, and then they was going to continue to shore up their city budgets, and everybody was getting a cut of the pie. Everybody was getting a cut of the pie. And it was contingent on them doing their job in order to ensure that Biden/Kamala Harris got reelected. That's the truth. It was dependent on them getting reelected. And they played the game and they lost because they never expected for Trump to A, come out of New York with shining armor. They never expected for Fani Willis in the Fulton County, Georgia to fall apart. They didn't expect for the whole thing to fall apart down there in Florida as far as them trying to act like he took some documents out of the White House. They never expected for the people to come through and say, man, listen, this is all fake. This is all a farce. We want Trump. And they put all of their eggs in the basket and they lost. And Eric Adams was the first person to revolt. That's when we really started to see the cracks in the armor. That's the truth. That's the flat out, unadulterated truth, straight up and down. Now, they used the people and they understood that the black community, for example, and the liberal white apologists was going to be on board no matter what, because they were going to finesse them and say, listen, Trump is a fascist. We hate Trump. We want to make sure that insurrection is all of this stuff. He's going to take away the women's rights for them to be able to get abortions and do what they wanted to do with their bodies. Trump, red, orange man, bad. And so they use the people to continue to empower themselves while at the same time banking on the idea that they were going to be able to maintain power, which would then allow for them to be able to divert funds over into these liberal cities. And that's why you see them all in shambles. It wasn't that they were better. It wasn't that they was good. It wasn't that they had control. It was because they were being subsidized and they never had the ability to manage their own budgets effectively. That's why you starting to see them say, oh man, we got a $1.1 billion budget deficit. We got a $1.6 billion budget deficit. We got a $1.3 billion budget deficit. We got to start laying off. We don't know what we're going to do. They had a plan and then God had other plans. Stealing money, propaganda, war machines, all of this bull crap, all of that junk was just a distraction. And y'all fell hook, line, and sinker for it. And the people that was paying attention, we seen it. We seen the play the whole time. The whole time we seen the play. Now this is what y'all got to deal with.
Layoffs will continue over the next couple of days, at least through Wednesday. We don't yet have a breakdown of who will lose their job or in which departments those eliminated positions are in. The Teamsters Union, which represents around 1,000 city workers, says they were never told exactly how many people will lose their jobs, even as the layoffs began today.
I asked the mayor, you wanted this? You wanted to fight with the union? You wanted to fight with the Teamsters? Well, brother, you got it.
That was Ronnie Houston with the Teamsters Union. The number of people laid off is perhaps less than some of the unions that I spoke with earlier this week feared. However, 171 people coming home this week telling their families they no longer have a job. Sam.
Now you're getting laid off. Your diversity, equity, and inclusion job and position is gone. Sanitation services is going to be worse. Garbage pickup is going to be worse. People are going to be suffering. Now you got to figure out what to do because you was a single mother in your household being taking care of your kid. Now you have no clue what's going to go on. You thought that you was protected. You wasn't because you banked on these stupid Democrats and they finessed you. They finessed you. I don't need to see it. It's cool. I ain't tripping off of it. And they finessed you. One thing that I learned in this lifetime is that I will never be dependent on another entity in order to ensure that I'm able to feed my family. I'm going to have multiple fires burning at the same time. I'm going to have irons in the pot. I'm going to get all the money and I'm going to make sure that I'm investing to ensure that I don't need to depend on nobody in order to be successful. That's what losing my job in 2007-8 taught me. That's what it taught me. I've been laid off one time and then I lost my job one time. You're not going to get me twice. You're never going to get me twice. I got laid off one time in my life and then I lost my job one time in my life. And I said, nope, never again. Never again am I putting my eggs in that basket. Never again am I getting caught without no real cash and no availability of monies and not no assets and nothing that can keep me and depending on these people and raising my lifestyle to fit whatever it is that my income is. Nope, never gonna happen again. Never. If I got to stay in this basement for 10 years until I feel like, I'm secure, that's when I'm gonna start breaking out. Even when it came to this content creation stuff, I was like, you know what? I know y'all want to have y'all opinion heard on every issue. That wasn't my play until my play was my play. Until I was in a position where I felt like I had enough money to be able to last me for the rest of my life. That's when I started breaking out. Then I started talking my talk. Okay, so now you want to really get the real me? I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. That's when I broke out the Versace, the house coat. And I seen a bunch of people putting on Versace house coats on their live streams. And I said, oh, here we go. All right, I see this is what we going to do. The minute that I retired was the minute I started, okay, all right, so what'd you say to me? Yeah, you got away with that before, but you're not going to get away this time. Because I had to protect the bag. I had to do what I had to do. I said, it'll be there. Oh, I'm coming through. I'm coming through. Listen, y'all, gird up. Gird up. Get your life together. Ladies, when you get your money, when you get your life together, stop leading with your accomplishments on your job in order to try to make sure that the men understand what your standards are. Listen, you doing what you got to do because that's what you need to do. That's a human thing to do. You taking care of yourself needs no accolades. All right? Fellas, get your life together so that you don't have to depend on no woman and you're not sleeping on her couch and then she going to have control over what time you come home. Get your life together so you're not depending on a woman trying to go 50-50. That's the thing about 50-50. You lose half of your control over what happens because you got to partner with somebody and you got to run decisions through them because it's both of y'all money. When you are 100% of everything, you control everything. And they're thankful because they're graceful enough to be able to accept the fact that you are in control, and that's what helps them live the life that they want to live. And you ain't gonna penny pinch them. You just gonna be a provider, and that's just gonna be the end of it. And then they're not gonna question you, and you're gonna do what you want to do because who you talking to? You blessed. Tell them, hey, you know how blessed you are, right? I'll talk to you later. I'll see you in a little bit. Keep on having your balls in a vice because you scared. Let me check with my wife. Let me check with my wife, and then I'm gonna get back to you. Do you know when I say that? I'm gonna tell you. You know when I say I'm gonna check with my wife? Only time I say that is if I know that I'm not interested in doing no business with you, but I need an excuse to tell you no, and I need her to be the bad guy. You know what? Let me run some things by my chick real quick, and then I'm gonna talk to you in a minute. You know, she kind of managed that part of the business. That's me telling you, probably not going to work out the way that you think that it is, and I'm going to use her as a scapegoat in order to be the bad guy. That's me. That's me. Because I still got to protect how it is that I deal with you, and I want you to feel good about seeing me when you see me. And I know that you can't take a hard no, so I'm going to say, you know what? Let me check with her real quick, and let me see what's going on. It's the only time that I'll use that excuse. But understand, I'm telling her, hey, when you see that nigga, tell him I said, suck my... Anton, don't say that. Anton, don't do that. I'll deal with it. Hey, yeah, he's not going to be able to make it. So... And meanwhile, I'll be in the background like this. Tell him I said no. No, tell him I said no. Tell him no. That's me in the background. What you doing? Oh, you got it? All right, my bad. You got it. Go ahead and handle that. I'm about to go to the store. You need anything? All right, I'll be back. If you ever see me say that to you, you probably cross the line and ask me something that it wasn't supposed to ask me. Anton, you coming out to the party? You coming out to the after party? Where y'all going again? Well, let me check with Rita and let me check with the security. I don't know if because I don't know if she got something else that she was supposed to be taking care of. Give me a second for a second. You know I'm not going to that party, right? All right, cool. Then Rita come out. Anton not going to make it. So, he got some other stuff that he got to take care of back at the hotel. Okay, guys? And that'd be it. That'd be it. But because you going 25, 75, 50, 50, 60, 40, it's different for you. It's different for you because you want to equalize. Hey, babe, what do you think about us doing this together? You dress alike. Y'all always got matching outfits. You got a Mickey Mouse shirt on. She got a Mickey Mouse ears on. You think she thing one, you thing two. Man, grow a pair of balls, man. Get some control of yourself. All she want to do is keep on controlling. She just trying to spend all your money so that you ain't got to spend none. So that she think that you ain't got no other woman to spend no money on. Stop letting these women control you, bro. Stop wearing matching outfits. Like, it's okay to color coordinate, but y'all just be doing too much. She picking all your hookups on. That's why you looking and dressing gay every day. I'm not doing it. I'd rather just provide 100%. And that way, I can do what I want to do. Got no time for this bull. What's she about to do? You about to go shopping? Okay, babe. I'll see you later on tonight. I just be on a flight somewhere. What you think? I discussed it? You think I asked for permission? Yeah, I'm gonna be in Miami for like 3-4 days. I gotta go shoot Fresh and Fit. I'll be back. Hey, make sure that you take care of this and this when I'm gone. Okay, baby. All right. Let me know if you need anything. Can I go? Not this time. You can't go this time. It's gonna be too many hoes. I don't want you feeling uncomfortable, and I don't want all of these hoes I don't want the hoes to feel as though that they gotta censor themselves because you around and you in the room. All right, you understand what I'm saying? Plus, you got some other stuff you got to take care of here. You know what? I need this for me. Just stay home for a while, take care of business, and plus, you need some time to miss me. I'll be back. Can you make sure my bag is packed? I'll see y'all later. That's it. That's it. But you don't have the ability to do that. You tiptoeing, trying to scheme with your friends at the job. What I'm going to tell my chick, bro? I know she don't never go for that. What I'm going to tell her? I'm different than you are. I do what I want to do. You do what you can do. And when you get yourself in a position where you can actually make those type of decisions, then you'll be in that position also, and you don't have to tiptoe. And she'll understand. Trust me, she get it, nigga. She'll understand. She will understand. You don't know what that feel like yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. Let me read some of these super chats and I'm going to get y'all up out of here. I got to go spec a new Lamborghini. Oh, I know that just made them mad. Ooh, I know that made you mad when I just said that one. I don't like that nigga. He always talking about what type of money he got. Always talking about the type of car he about to go spec. I can't wait for him to fall off. These niggas been waiting for me to fall off since I've been on the internet. One day God gonna humble you. Okay. Nigga, don't you know I'm God's favorite? Oh, if I showed you what was in my account right now, you would absolutely take a dump on yourself. You would just go ahead and just give it on up. Because your paycheck tomorrow, I think you niggas got paid today, didn't y'all? It's Thursday. Usually most people get their direct deposits on Thursday on every other week. Bi-weekly. What you get? 700, 800 on a weekly. 18, 19, bi-weekly. Gonna pay your car note and your light bill on this one, phone bill, and rent on the next one. Nigga, don't talk to me. Don't even talk to me. You don't have enough money to wish down on me, nigga. You don't have enough motion. I'm motion man to wish bad on me. You don't have enough motion to wish anything on me. You got to be 10 toes down and trying to figure out how you're going to survive, nigga. You have zero, zilch, nada. You have no interest in having a conversation with me, bro. At all. I'm about to do Stock Club probably tomorrow or Saturday. I'm going to do Block Club next week. I'm going to show people all the new property that we bought. We not talking to you. All right? Stop talking. Don't talk to me. Not when I'm talking to the chasers. I got to pay my people today. Did you know? I will have you to know. I'm going to tell you one more thing while I read Super Chats. I would have you to know that everybody that streams with me, they get a raise every month. Everybody that stream with me get a raise every month. That's a fact. Nobody makes less or nobody makes the same amount the month before. Everybody make more every single month, no matter what. Everybody do something more than what they make before. Don't ask me to do nothing about nobody. I don't give nobody visibility. They promote me. That's how the game go. I'm the king. If I mention them or if I put them inside of a live stream, I don't get nothing from that. I actually lose followers and lose subscribers. If they mention me, then they get to eat. So I am the economy. When they able to employ people, then they can start talking junk too. All right? That's a fact. Nobody has ever asked me for anything. Nobody asked for raises. They just eat. I eat, we all eat. All right? I don't talk about guys that been to prison. We don't do prisoners. Niggas get out, can't get a job, so they start live streaming. We don't do that shit. We don't talk to niggas that had to figure out whether or not they had to qualify their gayness in jail. We don't do that over here. We just let them do what they do. Let the people that only get 3 subscribers a month do whatever it is that they do. We got too much motion for that. Brothers keepers, sir, even though I'm an action star, sometimes I act bizarre. Shout out to Will Smith. We rock out with Will Smith over here. We appreciate Will Smith for giving us that good content. Mr. Joe says, listen, I guarantee you anybody that's talking negatively about me on a live stream, that the people that live stream with me make more money than them. So it's nothing to complain about. NY Appeals Court threw out Trump's $500 million civil fraud penalty. Yeah, I figured that was happening. That's why they was going to appeal it. It was never going to stick. They just wasted money. David Simpson Jr. says, Office Politics 101. My dog Aaron L. says, let me know if you come to Boston. I know a guy who owns 4 armored security detail transports Patriots, Celtics, Bruins, and political dignitaries. All right, Aaron L., I like that. Carrington Love Jr. says, I will join the Bag Chasers and handle the podcast distribution of the Millionaire Morning Show. I just need the final audio files delivered. Money and media is in distribution. You have no choice but to add this 20% income boost. 20% income boost crazy. You think so? Interesting. All right, let me research that. Let me figure that out, Carrington Love Jr. Paul Sar Echo says, go visit Kigali, Anton, the safest city in Africa. Nope. Nope, not interested. Carrington Love Jr. says, once I administer BMI and DistroKid, I know about DistroKid and BMI, and Sound Exchange, you can handle the weekly audio deliveries to the royalty platforms, 90% automation. All right, bet. All right, I'm going to talk to you. Send me an email, bro. Send me an email. Amethyst Angel says, don't forget USAID has been dramatically slashed. Yeah, Dark Sorrow's funding. 50% Simp said, what up, though, with the 10 ball? I appreciate you. Mika in the building says, who the F you think you talking to? You talking effing boss? You know what I'm saying? After hours. We in the building. We in the building, Mika. AD, Vernon Hill, that's Hollywood Talk Man. All right, I got you, Mika. I need my Mika. I need my Mika back. I need that old thing back. Buddy says, NY Appeal Court. Yeah, I got that. I'm gonna cover it tomorrow. Keelan Murray says, I can't stop laughing about the woman in her car. I'm driving the truck, and we got cameras inside. My supervisor was seeing me crying, laughing every day over the greatest millionaire morning show in the world. Shout out to you, big dog. Run that bag up. I got to have a comma on my check. I feel you, bro. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. I'm on it. I'm on it. So I'm going to cover the Trump story. I'm on everything. I'm on everything. I'm on everything. I need my Mika now. I need my Mika now. I need my Mika now. And y'all stop saying hi to her, because that's you. I'm about to start putting restrictions on some of these girls. I'm about to start putting restrictions. I don't know if Mika can talk back sometimes. I'm gonna see if she can reply back to some of y'all. You know, she been working it out, doing what she do. Let me get off of here. I got stuff to do. Anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna see y'all on After Hours tonight. Peace.